Hello everyone, welcome back for 165's Entertainment's first episode of Beta Buy or Beta Not, where we will go over whether you should get a game based on the beta gameplay that they released for a particular game. Now keep in mind that the beta is not entirely inclusive of what the game is, but it gives a good general idea, so we can usually use it to go into and see whether we should buy a game or not. Today we're going to go over Battleborn. Now real quick, just to go over a quick explanation of Battleborn. Battleborn is a first-person type game, we will call it a shooter in this sense, to where it is very similar to Borderlands, in which you have certain skills and different types of gameplay in which you can do melee combat or first-person shooting combat. And also it has a little bit more of the Smite feel, where you fight to defend lanes and get minions to a certain spot to destroy a tower or sentry. Now for this game itself, it is very much multiplayer centric. It has multiple different modes in multiplayer. Now here is my first thing to say that I was a little bit disappointed about, is at the lack of modes that there are. The story mode is very underwhelming and almost to the point of boredom, as well as the other mode that they have available in the beta, which was Meltdown, which seemed like just an odd little get minions to destroy themselves in a weird little cluster muck in the middle of everything. But the mode that I did play almost exclusively that I did really enjoy was Incursion. Incursion is your basic one lane, minions, get them to destroy one tower, then destroy the ultimate tower at the end, sentries what they're called, with a little bit of a twist in which they incorporate building towers and also taking out the jungle camps, if you will, if you have some Smite lingo under your belt. So it has a lot of similarities between Borderlands and Smite, in which you will hear me talk about pretty exclusively throughout this video. Now, the one thing that is different than most, but also very similar, is the way that Battleborn does its leveling up system, which is a helix system, which means every time you start a new game or a new story mode, you start at level 1, and you have these different options as you go down this helix to kind of amp up one ability over the other or some other ability to actually get you a different, unique experience every single time. And what you'll do is you'll always start off in this room, in which you'll always give you a lowdown of what exactly is going on in Incursion. You have a chance to look at your basic abilities and what you can start off with level 1, and actually what you can do to progress down the helix to see what type person you want to be. If you want to be a much more up-in-your-face melee person that relies entirely on getting in the face, or someone that stands back and does a more area of attack damage for the melee people, or even for the shooter people more so. In addition to it, what's something that it has is very unique from its other games, which is Smite and Borderlands, is it has this leveling up system where you can go to unlock certain characters based on your abilities, and it also has little tiny achievements. Now granted, the other games do have these type of achievements, but what you can use these for is to buy loot, which we'll go over a little bit later, in which it goes into the loadout system, or certain where you can buy better items that go along with your build that aren't necessarily like Smite, where you have it set up every single time, but each item has its unique rarity and its unique features based on every single thing, millions of items to go through. Now, to get down into the very overlook of it all, is that every character has 3 different abilities. 2 abilities to start off with. They vary between the utility of them all. The assassins have a lot more get in your face or kind of slow people down, and the guardians, I guess you would say, or the defensive tanky persons, would have something that gives them a shield or lets them stay alive longer. And then there's a third, which is their ultimate move, which takes a little bit longer and has varied skills. Something that I did not really enjoy about it is that this is something with all first-person games with melee combat, is the melee combat can be very jarring and very easily to get lost. That being said, when I did play the melee combat out there, I had a lot of fun playing as the assassin, going through and chopping up people, and I felt like I could do a lot of damage. But in the same sense, it can be very tricky and very jarring, and I don't think it's something that any first-person game has really gotten down pat that makes me say, this is great. It's not worse than a lot, but it's also not any better. There's been no huge innovations made with it. The other portion of it that I have to say I did enjoy was the way that there is no set 5 different classes like they have in Smite. They have Guardian Mage and everything like that. Every character is very unique in its own distinct way. They'll have mages, they'll have people for your Call of Duty fans it's just a gun toter with grenades. They have assassins, which is much more getting your face with knives. They have healers that throw daggers. It's every single character feels unique and feels different, and you can kind of go in and see what their different abilities are. A lot of it's lane pushing and building towers, which it is different from Smite in the sense that you have the option to build these extra towers to help amp up your defenses. Going through and actually getting into the melee portion, it can be very chaotic. There can be a lot of things going on. All the towers that you experience are much deadlier, and all the upgrades that you pay to give for these little towers can have a significant impact on the gameplay that you have, and actually help out with getting kills on other heroes or getting kills on the minions in general. The big thing that you always want to make sure is that you're focusing on the objectives. And just like a lot of these MOBA type games, is that you can focus on objectives and win the match entirely. But this game felt a little bit different because you can go from having both your towers and it can degrade to absolutely nothing in a matter of 2 minutes. The one thing I did like about it compared to other MOBAs is that there is a time limit, so you won't be playing a match for over 2 hours. It'll be about 20-25 minutes, and one way or the other the match is ending. I felt like the support was a very strong role to play in this, as well as many of the other games, is that you can work very interchangeably with your team. The other portion is that there is this shielding mechanism that happens on the towers, which can actually make it very difficult to be taking them down, which makes, even if there's a time limit on the game, it makes the game seem like it can drag on, and a lot of your efforts can kind of be a moot point in which you can't actually go through and get these towers down. I felt that a lot of the one-on-one battles that you have, unless you are a specific damage-dealing type of person, it's kind of one-sided unless you actually have the complete upper hand on someone or it ends up in a draw. A lot of it, as you see here, is we do have the focusing on the tower, and it's a big portion that I feel like maybe it was the teams that I was with, or maybe it was the environment that it was, but it wasn't something that everybody was 100% focusing on. Additionally, there are some class types that I played as in here that did just feel awkward and kind of slapped in there, that did not feel right. One of them being Marquise with the sniper class, is that he felt almost out of place in this situation, is that you can be sniper class in many different first person shooters and many different types of games, but the sniper class just felt kind of awkward to me. As I stated before, the melee class is a mixed bag. I do feel that the mage classes and the support classes in this game really outdo a lot of the other MOBA type games that are out there. And also it is very nice to see the uniqueness of all the different skill types, which it definitely has a nice homage to Borderlands in that sense, is where you have these skill types and you're known by these type of skill types for where you are. There's no distinct classes. You can always change things up even within your build with your character. Something that was also kind of put in here is that the humor is very crude. They're trying very much to be a Borderlands where they have fart jokes and, real out there humor. So, actually getting into the rating of it, would I pre-order this game? This pre-order for this game is very gold skins, silver skins. I feel that pre-orders with games nowadays are very lackluster at best. So actually going through and pre-ordering this game, if you haven't gone through and pre-ordered it, I would not lose all hope in not getting that gold skin for 4 or 5 different characters. So now it comes down to the big portion of it. Is Battleborn worth buying? Now keep in mind this is a $60 game tag on it. So is this going to fall into the category of beta buy or beta not? Now there were, like I said, a lot of positive things. It does have a lot of things that put a little twist on the MOBA / first person shooter genre that is currently out there, such as Smite or League of Legends, or a variety of things in terms of the MOBA sense, and Halo and Borderlands and the like, where you have a certain ranking up system. However, with all the things that I said, I really do not feel that this is a buy. For a $60 game tag, there is just not enough to justify it over its competitors, such as Smite. Smite is a game that is free to play. Yes, there are portions of it where you have microtransactions, but overall it's not something that I would 100% say, yes, this is worth the $60. There are other platforms that you can get very similar experiences for a ridiculously cheaper price, such as free. Now, does that mean you should avoid this game entirely? Definitely not. I believe this game has a lot going for it, and when it comes to down the line with the DLC and getting more characters, I think this is something that you should probably wait for a little bit of a price cut. $60 is a big amount to pay for this type of game that doesn't really turn everything on its head, but gives it a nice little twist. Wait for it to go down to $50 or $40, immediately go out and buy it then. But for the $60 game tag, or the price tag, I would say wait and go off and play Smite and some Borderlands until it drops down to that price. But of course, as I said, this is the beta for the actual game. So please, in the comments below, let me think what you thought of my opinions. Whether you played the game and you think I'm being too harsh, or whether you think I'm right on point, or there's things that I might have missed. I think this is a potential to be a great game, but it's just lacking in those points. So please, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you go out and buy the game and you can give them a little bit more into what the difference is between the beta and the actual game, please let us know in the comments below. Put down a like or subscribe, and stay tuned for more of these videos. As more betas are coming out, we'll be releasing more. Once again, this has been Dixon from 165 Entertainment. You guys have a good day. Alright everybody, thank you for coming to watch our video. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, go and hit the like button below.
If you want to be notified for future videos, hit subscribe.
Go ahead and leave us a comment on things you want to see us do in the future and what we could do to improve these videos for you guys.
If you want to go to our channel, just hit the link below.
And once again, thanks for watching, and this has been
165
Entertainment! See you next time.
Babies.